Oh yeah, thank
ਹਾਂਜੀ
you.
ਪਾਵਰ ਆਫ ਸੀ
And in comes Danya again. Pushes that one on the offside. Yeah, I've been broadcasting with a little without power for a while, but we're now back on. So Manish on 2 and Venkat on 5. Seen some very tough opening bowling here by the All-Stars. And UT Arlington doing a good job of keeping it out. Just the one chance there with the edge dropped by the wicketkeeper. Score now 8 for 0. And 3 overs gone. Nauman now coming on to bowl his second over. So Arlington pushing away to get in the singles. In comes Nauman. Right on the middle stump. And Arlington will do a good job of playing straight bat on this fast bowling. You do need some quick bat speed in this sort of situation. In comes Nauman. This one outside the off stump and picked up by the batsman. And they're going to go for a couple. And it's going for 4. It's first boundary of the day for Arlington. Just a little bit wide of the off stump and you pay the price. I would think the next one will be right on the middle stump. So Arlington 12 for no wicket. Move that one away, almost an edge. Good piece of bowling there. Little extra pace. So now I'm using some variable speed here. Not much wind. But when the spinners come on, they've been able to use what crosswind there is to get the trajectory on the balls. This one's right on the middle stump, right on the toe. Good Yorker stuff. Nauman's good with the Yorkers. So picking up a single. Just 5 off the over. So the score rate 3.55 at the moment. Get someone to move away. Three dot balls in the over. Dabs it down on the offside, no run. Excellent over by Nauman, just 5 off it, just 4 dot balls. Scored 13 for 0, averaging about 3.25 an over. So Manish on 2 and Venkat on 10. Batting very sensibly to some very tight bowling. If sensible is a good thing, but you're getting a good demonstration of how to handle fast bowling. Straight bat, get behind the ball. So Danya, the new bowler, this will be his third. Again, does exactly the same as what Nauman was doing off stump. Both of the fast bowlers have a good rhythm. No stutter steps. In some ways it's like marking a run up for a long jump or throwing the javelin. And slams it down delivery, pushes out a little extra. That extra shortened the ball and he pays the price. There'll be a couple off that. Third ball in, Danya outside the off stump. Batsman leaves it alone. This one's right on the off stump. Batsman gets right behind it. Again, right on the off stump. Excellent piece of bowling, well batted, keeping it out. Another dot ball. So we've got 4 dot balls in this over by Danya. Excellent bowling by this opening pair. Showing you what fast bowlers can do to keep down the runs. And Arlington up to the task. They're doing a great job of keeping the wickets intact. 4 overs, 15. 3 and over at the moment. This one slammed down, that one straight past the bowler on the onside. Little on drive. So Aditya, the captain now, bringing himself on. Giving Nauman a rest. Probably saving him for the last over. Aditya can do a variety of bowling, medium pace, variable pace, a little bit of spin if necessary. Gary Sober's style. Great young man, based out of Florida, Miami. Right arm over. Right on the length. Keeps very fit, hikes a lot. Good outdoorsman. Good organizer, great help behind the scenes here. And now he got that to move away beautifully. In fact, so much so that it took a wicket. Brilliant piece of bowling, the breakthrough the captain needed, and he created it himself. So Arlington lose their first wicket as Aditya takes the off stump. With a Yorker. So some tough bowling there by the All-Stars. Nothing wild at all. a couple of wides, but on a length, numerous number of Yorkers. So finally the breakthrough in the fourth over here. Ditcher does work in blockchain management, so he's been on call for a lot of the supply chain issues that have been hit in the country. But the new batsman taking an offside, leg side guard. He's moved up to 2. So middle and leg. And again, Ditcher pushes it up. So quickly off the mark, Vijay. Gonna have to adjust his pads a little bit. So Vijay 4 on that shot, nice boundary. Nature coming in here on the fourth ball. Just misses on the off stump. So nice way to go after the mark for Vijay with a 4 there. Did she get in there? The breakthrough that's needed. And down we come. Very accurate bowling by the All-Stars. They're really tacking the off stump with the corridor just outside it. And then middle stump, they'll hit you with a Yorker. Some good bowling. And it shows in the score of 3.6 and over. Very tight and tidy. And again on the off stump, and they pushed away for a single. So the score 22 for 1 at the end of that over. 6 overs done. And the score rate is 3.6. And here comes Lloyd.
Well, it's nice to be back on. Take care of a few things. Vijay Ganesh on 5, Manish on 3. Manish we saw play some pretty good shots playing in the All-Star game before this one. And at this point, of course, he's playing for UT Arlington, which is where he's from. 22 for 1 after 6 overs. So the American College Cricket USA team, basically the All-Stars, are doing a pretty good job of keeping the scoring down here.
Certainly I've seen some excellent bowling, Lloyd. Very tight, just outside the off stump, and anything in the middle is on a length, and your Yorker length. So they've been hard to get away.
Well, all weekend we've seen the bowlers really doing their stuff and really dominating the batting for the most part, except for like a couple of people like Neil Patel, Aditya Bhardwaj, Ryan Scott's cameo, and here comes, gets this one away. The man who long on will move up and get that. So that'll be another run to Vijay Ganesh, but they do need to pick up the score in here. I understand the bowling is tight, but got to do something. Now, Kinal Patel, we saw was using his flight earlier, and he'll be something that they'll have a hard time with as well. Funnily enough, I saw one of the commenters saying, bowl Kinal, bowl Kinal.
Yeah, you get that feedback, don't you, from all the American college cricket guys out there.
And we understand why they would say that. Look, there he is flighting that one, beating the batsman. And the Pearland, the umpire is not interested.
We've got 2 new umpires, Lloyd, right?
So this is the American College Cricket All-Star Weekend, and this is the final game. This one is actually against UT Arlington, which is a team that's about 4 hours drive away in the Dallas area. And we're at Moosa Stadium. Moosa Stadium, a beautiful. All the players were only complimentary about the magnificent facilities here. Kinal Patel, right arm. This one's way outside the off stump. Keeper does a good job of grabbing it. He had a wide stance, almost karate-like, and collected that one wide of the off stump. Well, he is taking a position outside the off stump because Kinal is bowling towards there. Another flighted one, beating the batsman who's flashing at it. Yes, this stadium was built probably starting around 2013 because we first played here in 2014 by Saki Mohammed. Right arm, flighted again outside the off stump. They'll get some runs here, and it's 4 runs. Struck that one in the air, but over the inner fielder and down to the long off position for 4. So breaking the chains, David?
Yeah, trying to. Some good wicket keeping here with the wicketkeeper standing up, but slightly looser ball there. Got punished.
So UT Arlington, they're known as the Mavericks from the University of Texas, Arlington. Here comes Kinal once more. This one's pitched more on the line wicket, and they'll get a single as the man down on a fine long leg position feels that. So yes, a magnificent facility, and as I like to remind people, because it is really important, pioneer in development by Saki Mohammed, because it was the first really significant private investment in a cricket facility, and it was something that was needed, and he set the example. So,
well, it continues to with the infrastructure around the ground. Is continually working on it.
That is correct, exactly. And a perfect example is the broadcast facilities we're in, which are proper broadcast facilities. And so we're in very comfortable space.
Huge difference from when we started 10 years ago.
Well, not quite 10 years ago, but I mean, yeah. Oh, you mean in general, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We had a broadcast facility like this.
On top of the...
Yeah, we've
started
usually
on top of the side screen.
On top of the side screen, under a tent, different improvisations.
We've done scaffolding. We've done light bulb changes.
Spider web. Oh, that's a beautiful ball there by Aditya coming in. A pitch on or about just slightly outside of off stump and coming in would have hit. Let's say had he missed that, would have hit middle and leg. Good ball to start off the over. Aditya, of course, bowls. Sometimes he bowls medium pace, sometimes he bowls off spin, and sometimes he bowls a hybrid.
Gary Sobers of the team.
Another good ball there, keeping the batsman defensive, even though that one flew off the bat. But it went straight to fielder, so there is no run.
Attacking the batsman's gate. These guys have had to play very straight to survive.
Yes, and that's been the story of this weekend. Mm-hmm. The bowlers have dominated.
It's been a good pitch for that.
Oh, another one that came back in, but he got that away and they'll get a run. He got that away wrong in an extra cover position.
Yeah, it's excellent bowling all round. That's been very tight, all 4 bowlers. Aditya picked up the wicket in the last over. Is he captain, Lloyd?
Yes, he is captain in this all-star team.
Yeah.
Did a magnificent job in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Rotating his players and giving guys a shot as well. as well as motivating the players to finish the job after the initial 2 matches. Even in the second match, where the game seemed to be slipping away, kept the pressure on. Here he comes. This one is a loose ball, and it's hit out into the cover area, but it won't go all the way to the boundary, so they'll just run a couple. And that's another thing we noticed. In as much as the batsmen have been on the defensive for the most part against the tight bowling, they have made use of the occasional loose ball.
Lobs that one up a little bit.
And they thought about a run, but had to change their minds.
I love that long shot that the camera's doing. You can see the full pitch. That's the side camera, Harold.
Yes. So, of course, we appreciate the work being done behind the scenes by Bajwa and Ali. And thank
They've been wonderful behind the scenes, those two.
Absolutely. And also a pleasure to deal with.
Yeah. Keeping us on track, reminding us to keep our microphones on. Seen a couple of monarch butterflies today. Floating around.
Fascinating news, David.
Feel regal.
Fascinating news. Like the woman last night, the British woman last night at the bar, when they'd play God Save the Queen.
God Save the Queen.
It was her turn to sing.
Then she said she's from Wales.
Oh, she's from
tribalism
Wales.
coming out there.
Yeah. The urge of the other members of the United Kingdom to differentiate themselves from the English.
Yeah. Prince of Wales is close to the throne at the moment. And comes Canal.
An inquiring look at the umpire, who was unmoved.
That's the Daily Inquirer, huh?
Vijay Ganesh on 7, Manish on 12, UT Arlington on 34 for 1. We're in the 9th over, so as you can tell from a simple mat, this one struck down the wicket and they just get a single.
Actually, we saw an example. We talked about injuries earlier, Lloyd. We saw an example there of how you get a groin stretch. You know, we try to reach out with his leg, and that's a fairly common injury in cricket.
Cracks this one into the covers, and they'll get a couple as long as they go for it, and they're do.
Running well. I noticed in the changing rooms that the players seem to enjoy just having met each other at this All-Star event.
This one's flighted nicely, but he does get it away down along the ground. A dive-in bowler who decides to pop a couple of push-ups. Was not able to stop it. That's one way to recover from...
yes, one way of getting rid of the adrenaline too.
of missing the ball. Take the focus off of the fact that you didn't feel it.
That was a brilliantly flighted ball. Very tempting.
Speaking of flighting, that particular one reminded me of Pavel Florin, who's from Romania, a guy who burst on the scene a couple of years ago.
He learned his cricket off TV, if I recall.
And in learning to bowl, he basically was throwing the ball up in the air, which to many batsmen's surprise proved to be difficult to get away, and he got some wickets. But more importantly, he got acclaim all around the world. Support, pledges of support, and so on. And he became a bit of a cricket celebrity and was invited to England. He visited Lord's. He invited to play in Australia and so on, all before the lockdown happened.
Yeah.
He since played for Romania in the some kind of European championship, which Romania won.
Right.
So that's, I guess we can start calling that ball the Pavel Florin.
Pavel Florin ball.
Yeah.
Like Eddie the Eagle, you know, who did that.
Yes.
Dribbling off on the sky jump.
Exactly.
Really annoyed all the really good sky jumpers when this guy gets all the attention.
Yep. So this is 38-1, University of Texas Arlington at Moosa Stadium. And University of Texas Arlington, of course, also beginning preparations to be at the National Championship in March. That will be March 16th to the 20th. And that will be at Broward Stadium and nearby fields. It's
nice to see a ditcher coming in bowling towards us now. I guess after the American college cricket rules are just playing 10 overs one end and then switching to save time. Now we get to see him coming right towards us. You get a sense of what the batsman has to face. Slams it down. Gosh, he's getting some movement there, isn't he?
This is Aditya Sen, University of Florida,
Yeah.
Gators, and right arm tall and an all-rounder. And as I was saying earlier, in bowling, he sometimes bowls off breaks and off medium pace, and sometimes he'll just give you a bit of a hybrid. So as a batsman, you can expect variations. Here comes Aditya. This one coming in a glorious shot, glorious cover drive. Not struck with a lot of power, just timing. There's a man down on the boundary who will come around and save it from going into the boundary. They do get a couple. So a lovely shot there. I believe that was Manish, and Manish did show us some of his shots in the previous game. Aditya Sen is the captain of the American College Cricket All-Stars team in this game. Get back into the wicket and turns that on the onside, and it'll be just a single. I believe that's Neil Patel in that area, and will be a delight to see when it's his turn to bat. Scored 95 yesterday. Had a strike rate of about 197, 8 sixes. Plays that into the onside. Neil moves around. Takes a little throw at the wicket.
Arlington trying to push the rate up here. 4.27 and over at the moment. So they're pushing for runs, which is the right thing to be doing. They've got the wickets. Got 9 left. Oh, that's wide.
Fishing outside the off stump, but not quite a wide. So an effective ball for the American College Cricket All-Stars, a dot ball. And the batsman will have a quick chat. Alvin Calderon tells a story about when he was playing and he came out, and the West Indies had to retrieve them from a bad position. So he came out to bat and had a word in the middle with Viv Richards, and everyone would assume that this was about the state of the game and what their strategy would be and so on. It actually was about a woman in a red dress that he had spotted in the crowd, and they needed to draw their attention to, so...
That's one way to show you're relaxed, huh?
Yeah.
Don't lose your lateral movement to pressure.
And speaking of Alvin Calderon, he's a very good speaker at, cricket annual events or whatever, fun stories and so on.
He's been in the game for such a long time.
So on strike now is Vijay Ganesh. Gets that away in the air. The man running in couldn't get to it. The square, like a deep square leg, couldn't get to it in time. He did slide like a baseball to slide, but still was not able to get to it. So Ganesh survives, but they do need to do more than survive. They need to start moving the scoring rate up. Kinal.
A lot of movement on that ball.
Played out into the onside for a single. And at a minimum, that's what they need to do, as we've seen Addy do so well in all 3 of his innings. Not necessarily striking boundaries, but moving behind the shot and getting singles and twos. What a Whoa, I thought he caught that. That's 4 runs.
he moved his left, stretch out his left arm, and I thought it stuck, but it actually went down to the boundary for 4. So UT Arlington needs more of that, and American College Cricket All-Stars team needs less of that. So managed 22, Ganesh 12, and perhaps we'll see some more stroke play here. So still brilliant sunshine here, happily so, at Moosa Stadium. Right arm. Flights it again. Strikes this one into the covers. Will it elude the man down there? It does, and it's 4 runs. So 2 quick 4s here will help the scoring rate, push it up to almost 5. And more importantly, an indication that these batsmen understand that it's time to start moving the scoring rate up. So Keenal finally getting struck away, which is what you need to do with someone flighting the ball. Didn't position himself quite properly there, moving in back on the back foot, but gets it away for a single. So 24 runs already off of Keenal. Flights this one again. Batsman waits for it and turns it onto the onside to the square leg. And it's another single. So this was a pretty good over for the batting side. 2-1-4-4-1-1. Score on every ball and 2 4s in the over. So really 13 runs off of that over, taking the scoring rate up to exactly 5. A significant improvement in 1 over. 27 to Manish, 13 to Ganesh. So usually American College Cricket would have regionals, and around this time we could be either playing here in the Southwest Regional or the West Coast Regional in California. Here comes Aditya Sen. Batsman plays and misses, and wide signal. But we would have had before that the Southeast, the Mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, and the Midwest regionals. And so either this Southwest or the West Coast would be the last. Here it comes, nice looking shot, gets that away in the mid-wicket area. They'll get at least a single. They could have tried hard there for 2, but chose the comfortable 1. And that you can't be too happy here. They've gotten him away on this ball and scored on him. Nice looking shot there in a similar area. The man there will ensure it's only 1 run. Behind the wicket is Rudy. And he's from University of Illinois Springfield, an alumni. Strokes that one into the offside hill. That should have been an easy single, but there was a little bit of mix-up there in terms of determining whether or not to do it.
Getting a bit of sunshine out here, Lloyd.
Here he comes, Aditya Sen, right arm. Oh, nice looking shot. Clips that off the legs. That'll run away for 4. Nobody's near enough to stop that.
Pure timing. Lovely flick.
So that was by Vijay Ganesh.
Yeah, UT Arlington seems to have moved it up a gear. They've done a good job of upping the tempo with the run rate here. 5.31 and over now. For the first 5 or 6 overs, they're trapped in the 3 range. So they're taking the game to the All-Stars.
62 for one off 11.4 overs. And Aditya Sen is the bowler. He's bowling his last couple of deliveries. He's taking a wicket for 21 runs. And in general, this weekend has bowled very well. Right arm. He's the captain as well. Nicely played back down the wicket for another single.
I like the way the batsman just ducked for that ball, because yesterday one with batsman was hit right in the helmet while he stood stock still. So you have to be alert even at that end. Aditya getting some tremendous movement into that ball. Shows you how well the batsmen are playing. 63 for 1. Is this a new team, Lloyd, the Arlington team?
No, they've been around since 2013.
But new personnel, I mean.
Oh, always, you know, people graduating and so on.
That's the hard part about American college cricket, right? Is
there's nothing difficult. It's all it's all easy.
It's all easy, right?
Yeah, it's I wake up and
just falls into place.
It just falls into place.
It's like pouring water down the sink.
Actually, I didn't see how that wicket fell at all. But he was bowled or stumped. But anyway, it's 63 for 2, and
you got the foreshortened view here.
Manish is gone. So just as they were beginning to raise the scoring rate,
yeah.
So it's at 63 for 2.
Yeah, the wicketkeeper's standing close up. And that wasn't the case in Philadelphia cricket. They had a long time before they get the wicketkeepers to stand up to the bowling. Oh, good job by the wicketkeeper then. Be good to see a replay on that.
So the new batsman is Lickett ready. And
did he play in the previous game too?
yes, he did.
Yeah. So he's had some practice.
So I want to remind our viewers that we have the American College Cricket Facebook page and the American College Cricket Instagram page. Follow us on both. And on the Instagram page, you'll see pictures going back to, we've been taking pictures since 2010. As this one stroked nicely in the covers with a diving fielder there to his left, stops it and flicks a quick throw into the keeper. And so follow us on Instagram, American College Cricket, and of course on Facebook, which you're probably watching the stream, American College Cricket on Facebook. This one's down to the man on the point boundary for a single. We're also on Rumble and YouTube. If you missed a part of this game, you want to watch it again or watch it, you can see it on the Facebook page at any point from now because it'll remain there.
Is that a permanent record, Lloyd, or do they take him down after a while?
It's permanent. Cracks is square, but there's a man placed there for that shot, so they just get a single.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's been a pretty good weekend to be in Houston. The weather is not the hot summer weather. Turns this rung on the outside for a single. Keeping the scoreboard ticking. scoring rate 5.22. They've got basically 7 overs left to really lift that to a defendable total, which is now 67 for 2. Oh, we want to thank Zach, who's doing the photography. So we'll have lots of great pictures after this weekend. Zach is walking into a different position now to get a different angle on the photographs. He normally takes pictures of extreme sports. So
Well, this is an extreme sport, isn't it?
that's my view. So once we communicated, I decided with that background, yes, you can take photographs here. I'd be extremely pleased.
Is he a volunteer?
Batsman doing some caretaking. Not sure what the issue is.
He's just pushing the grip down the bat a bit.
Get a grip.
Yeah, he's got more of a grip now.
So 67 for 2. Here he comes. This is Addy, who's done so well with the bat. He's going to roll his arm over, as they say.
Yeah, we haven't seen him bowl much before. This is great. This is the 15-year-old
Yes.
out of Maryland. Picked up 62 in the previous game. Not out. He's saying he's a bit of a leg break bowler. His dad is one of the umpires. He's having fun.
So 68 for 2. Addy bowling. Look at Reddy on 2. Vijay Ganesh on 22. Scoring rate has dropped down marginally to 5.04. Flighted 1, and the batsman picks that up in the air and caught on the point boundary.
There you go. That's a nice breakthrough wicket.
And that's Ren Kapoor, who previously took a catch. So that's his second catch of this game. And he's pretty pumped about that. Enjoys taking catches, I guess.
Yeah. Excellent. He really aired that one out, that he did. Pushed it on the offside wide.
Certainly did.
Tempted the batsman and succeeded. Very mature mind. Cricket mind.
And that's the thing. I once heard someone speak, negatively about a bowler who gets wickets from catches on the boundary. And I was like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
You get in the wicket. That's the goal. Wherever he puts the catch, especially if you have a fielder there, it means that was part of your plan, part of your hope.
Yeah. Well, I think that's that net thinking we were talking about earlier. A lot of the batsmen think they're great hitters of the ball because they're not playing the full oval. And when they come out of the net, they're caught out right away. And they lose that dimension when they practice too much in the nets. In fact, I was talking to Addy's dad about that earlier today. That's why he wants him to play lots of games.
So it'll be a new batsman. It'll be, apparently his name is Aditya too. So this is not Aditya 2, but Aditya.
There are a lot of Adityas in this game.
Yeah.
Some with an H, some without.
So this is Aditya V.
And Addy's an Aditya.
Yes, with a H.
We'll call him Addy.
to differentiate. Now I don't know what we'll do this with this third Aditya.
He has a very quick arm release. There's Addy. All 3 wickets have come on catches.
Here comes Addy. Right arm. Oh, good ball. Came back on the batsman there, and he got an in edge. Could have gone anywhere.
Get a run out. That's a run out.
But now they get a run out.
So Addy's a breakthrough maker. Boy, they demolished those stumps. We haven't seen many run-outs in this tournament.
No, but it's hard for a batsman to be happy about getting run out. And clearly the batsman was not happy there.
So you have Neil on side for histrionics, if necessary.
For Neil Patel to score a century in this, we need University of Texas Arlington to score like about at least 120.
Yeah.
120 runs to chase gives Neil enough to score a century.
I think they'll get the 120.
6 overs left. Score rate of 5. They need to pick this up quite a bit. If they can average 8 runs and over in 6 overs, that'll be nearly 50 runs. Still not a strong total, but clearly doable and not so bad.
2 shots in a row that came off the tip of the bat in the wrong direction.
Struck in the air and down to the cover boundary, and it'll be 4 runs. So flighted a bit more. Batsman putting one leg forward, the left leg, and striking that over the cover area for 4. Man running around on the boundary, couldn't get to it. So this is run at deer, going on to 4. It's 2 new batsmen. Aditya is on 2. Saurabh Joshi is the bowler, left arm.
Oh, he bowled him. Straight through his defence.
Beaten by the flight. And playing forward, prodding forward, just missed entirely.
Beat him in the air.
So UT Arlington, 75 for 5. The American College Cricket All-Stars can feel good about the position they have this team in right now. As on the horizon, some dark clouds on the lower part of the horizon. Upper, it's not so bad.
So we're about to see whether Arlington bats all the way down or not. In comes number 7 or 8. I'd like to see 100 at least. Pranav, the new batsman. And traps him. Yeah, that's 2 in a row. LBW. Pranav not very happy with himself.
And this also puts the bowler on a hat trick. It's the second time we've had this.
Sudden breakthrough here by the All-Stars.
And you see UT Arlington are in a very bad position right now.
A heap of trouble.
On the plus side, it's just, just over 5 overs to go. So they really can afford to just go for it. And it's either you get some good runs or you don't. Some big swings for the fences, I think, should be the strategy here.
The bowling has been very tight, and it's been very hard to get away, so it's a strategy, but it's hard to implement.
You're saying it's easier said than done?
I am.
You mean just because I think
Armchair
it can be
cricket,
done?
right?
Yeah, exactly. And then tomorrow it'll be a Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah. Well, we had that yesterday with the UCLA win. That was great.
There I am.
Looking good, Lloyd.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. All right.
So 75 for 6. Saurabh Joshi in his second over is taking 2 wickets. Nicely collected there and flicks that throw into the keeper. So Harshit is new. Aditya is relatively new. Has faced 2 balls, both of them. So very tough position to be in here, David.
Yes, it's going to be hard to get a partnership going with just 5 overs as well, so they're going to have to play the shots against some very tidy bowling.
That would be my feeling, that go for it now. It's either you get it or you don't hit that.
And they are going for it. Bit uppish, but they get away with it.
Now you see the cameraman up on top of the side screen,
Yeah.
over the far side screen. There'll be some glorious pictures there.
He's doing a great job for a volunteer. Nice light too. Wicketkeeper's standing right up. Aditya B bowling. Addy, as we call him. He's really made quite an impression in this tournament with his 62 not out in the last game. 15 years old, high school out of Maryland. Can bowl.
Batsman making room and cracking that into the offside, and they decide to go for it. They could get 2, and they should have gone for the 2. Because at this stage they need to be moving the score along. So, but ultimately they chose not to, and who knows? Maybe that was the wise decision. Again, I'm sitting in a chair here, so
Not having to do the running, huh, Lloyd?
no.
Addy's getting some tight bowling figures in here. He's already got a wicket.
And that's a
That's
reverse sweep. Doesn't get a hold of it very much, so they'll probably, the hesitation of in the run-in is going to cost them. Of course, this is the lower order, so not necessarily as fluent in the run-in as upper level batsmen would be, but still, this could be their downfall. You've got to make that choice and live with it. As in life.
Absolutely. And they are getting the runs on the board. That's all that matters. Strong appeal by Eddie. Just really having the ball. He's got his big smile on his face.
Those arms are going up so fast. He's
Looks like the cat licked cream.
It's like the fastest gun in the West.
He's had a great day out. He's getting that ball to move in off the leg stump. That's hard bowling. It's just great to see a young talent at the beginning of their career. 96 for 6, 16 overs. Run rate now dropped down below 5, 4.94 and over. So Arlington's struggling here a little bit. Against some aggressive bowling attack and some good fielding by the All-Stars.
So just a reminder, early registration for the American College Cricket National Championship 2022 begins this coming week, and it will be March 16th to the 20th. So you can contact me, you can message our page on Facebook and Instagram, American College Cricket on his Instagram, American College Cricket on Facebook, and we're on LinkedIn as well. And this one's in the air, but well short of the man down at the long off boundary, and they'll just take an easy single.
Sarab, the new bowler. Sarab Joshi, right?
Yes, a left arm bowler who played with Sarab Netravalkar, the current USA captain for Mumbai.
Excellent.
And this one's in the air, but it should be clear of any fielder, and it is. There was a triangle of fielders, but the ball fell right in the middle of that triangle.
Is that the Bermuda Triangle?
No, because the ball is still here.
Or it's the Texas Triangle?
Yes. And the left-hander will be on strike now as the score moves to 81 for 6. Nicely struck down the wicket, and that could go for... Oh, the man coming around from long on fields.
I love that on drive.
Yeah,
Very
it's
useful shot.
was pretty.
Want to play against Sarab and the way it comes in around the wicket. Swept that one. That's the first sweep you've seen from Arlington.
And that's 4 runs. So he put it in the gap
Yeah.
and got the result that he desired, that his heart desired. So,
Swept to 4.
so the scoring rate has moved up to 5.16. Still some way to go, but at least we see the intent here. And the Arlington team needs a lot more like that. But these are good indications that they're going for it. So Aditya on 10 and Arshita on 3. Joshi, left arm. Nice change of shot, just chooses to cut it. Not with much power though, and in any case there's a man there. Would have been hard to beat the two fielders at the point and backward point positions.
A little bit of a partnership forming here, Lloyd. It's probably about 13 now. Much needed. 7 of this over. Run rate at 5.1.
So Saurabh Joshi has taken 2 wickets for 16 runs. Here he comes, left arm. Umpire signals a wide.
Unusual angle coming in.
Yes, coming between the wicketkeeper, the umpire and the stumps. And he ends that over on a high note from a bowler's point of view, except for the wide, a couple of dot balls. So 87 for 6 after 17, 3 overs left. Even if they were to get 10 off of each over, it would end up being 117, which is still a below par, low score. And of course, American College Cricket USA team has the informer Addy. And they also have Neil Patel,
Yep.
who can knock it all off in a jiffy. And there's Keenal Patel.
Judging by the position of the wicket-keeper, we've got the fast bowlers coming back on.
Can't get anything by you, David.
Helmet off and standing back. And in comes the Canadian. I think the batsman's surprised there's a wide there. It's that leg side rule though, Lloyd.
Yes, it is Dave, the Canadian. This is be his fourth over. So far, only 9 runs have been taken off of his bowling, and he's bowled quite well in all 3 matches. A talent to watch in the future.
He's still a very young man, isn't he?
Yes, here he comes. Pitches that one up. They'll get a run from that, but not anymore, as Neil Patel fields in the covers from the left-hander. Daniel Dave, we will no doubt hear a lot more from him in American college cricket and Canadian college cricket. And who knows, maybe even the Canadian team. There's a lot of hope in the near future for young cricketers in the US and Canada with the 2024 T20 World Cup coming to the US and West Indies. And of course, both USA and Canada are in the global T20 qualifiers to be played early next year. Danya beats the bat on that one. Man going for a drive. It doesn't get a hold of it.
Big smile on his face. Yeah, the openers kept the Arlington team down to 3 and over for about 5 overs, so they did an excellent opening job.
Here he comes, right arm. Pitches it up. It ends up being a full toss, well driven, but not with full power, and fielded on the boundary by the man there, and it's just 2 runs. Nice throw into the keeper, yep.
Great camera work by this Moosa Stadium crew.
Here comes Danny Dave. Right arm. Oh. Cuts this one. And they'll just get a single. So field placement is pretty good. It's very difficult. It's been very difficult for the batsmen to get through the gaps. The bowling is bowling to the field. And so doing their job. The left-hander will be on strike.
Yep.
And that, of course, can be an issue for some bowlers. The change from left to right-hander and vice versa.
He handled it, the change very well there. Excellent ball. Good over by Danya.
So 93 for 6. 1 ball left in this over, and then it's 2 overs left. Right arm. Pitches it up. And that one pops up into the air. The keeper is under it, and he takes it. So wicket there for Danya.
Yeah,
to finish his
much
spell.
Deserved. I bet he's surprised because he's been bowling so well up to now, but that's probably the widest ball that was tapped. And 2 of the wickets were achieved that way, with the ball going off the thick edge, high and into the fielders.
So 1 for 14, Daniel Dave, in his 4 overs. And a reminder, of course, that just a couple of days ago, one of our players, Saad Zafar, who has played for Ryerson and our All-Stars team, did 4 overs, 4 maidens, and 2
wickets.
2 wickets. Yeah, not far.
Actually,
Yeah.
the game is this innings is over. For a minute there, I forgot that due to impending rain, the game was reduced to 18 overs. So it's 93 for 7 off of 18, which means the American College Cricket USA team will have to make 94 to win. This is not enough runs for Neil Patel to score a century, David.
No,
You've done the math?
I've done the math.
Okay, so what do you think? Maybe he can get into the 90s, perhaps?
If they bring him in at the opening,
Yeah, that's my thought. We could see another innings in the 90s from Neil Patel. The team
Yes.
has to make 94 to win.
great shot showing the weather out there. You can see it's getting a bit dark. And there's our photographer on the sight screen. That's a beautiful shot of Texas. Just need some longhorn cattle out there. Right?
Yeah.
Then on the left, you can see the nets that have covered. I think if we can go a little bit more around now, we just got to see the kids area. Then there's another practice pitch being built at the back there. I love these lattice huts they've developed. Good little viewing spots. And then just a little bit to the left of the huts there, we have the nets that have covers on top. Which
Yep.
is a
Well,
unique-
join us
unique
for
feature.
a
there.
few minutes for the second innings as American College Cricket USA All-Star team
Perfect.
chases 93 for 7, and come back and join us in about 5 minutes.
So we're back on now as the University of Texas Arlington takes the field, defending 93 and 7 wickets. And it'll be 18 overs this game because we're expecting rain. And so the 2 wicket keepers opening. Bashir was wicket keeper on the Sentence team and Rudy on the Joda team earlier today. And Bashir had opened up in that innings as well. So they've got to get a run rate of just over 5 and over. And really we don't know much about the Arlington team. They batted quite well. Faced a tough bowling attack there by the All-Stars. And I think we'll be pleased to get this before the rain comes pouring down. Did some games earlier this year, one in Columbus, Ohio, and there was $100,000 prize money in that particular case. And we played for 3 days, and on the last day it bucketed down, so they had to split the prize money for the final. But the water was so intense that the tents with all the equipment underneath just collapsed. So hopefully we don't have that today. Very lucky with our umpires, so volunteers. Right out front there you got Addie's father, who's brought him here for Maryland and must be very pleased about what he's been seeing here with his son. And getting ready to bowl now. Open. And here comes Lloyd.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I like that when I walk into a place, people announce me, here comes Lloyd.
That's my job. Or I've assumed it.
So, the American College Cricket USA team will be trying to get 94 to win this game in 18 overs. Usnain Bashir is opening together with
Rudy.
With Rudy,
He's the wicket keeper.
Yes.
Both wicket keepers.
And yeah, correct.
How about that, huh?
How about that? And I'm not sure what they're waiting for.
They're getting the covers ready on the far side of the field. So Sam Plummer and his ground crew getting ready to protect the wicket. So I think you might need Neil Patel to come and knock off these runs at this rate. That does look pretty ominous on the...
Yeah, but the thing is they should be playing.
Yep, they need to get on with the game.
What's the point
Totally
of
agree.
waiting?
Do you have balls this time around?
They do have it.
Yeah? Just better check. Beginning of the last game we had a delay for balls. Get through a lot of balls in a tournament. 4 a game. 4 games, 16. That's 3 boxes. And of course you need some extras just in case you lose a ball. Or it goes out of shape as it did today with a wet outfield. It's good to see people putting on their sunscreen because a lot of sun cancer out there right now, especially with global warming. I personally have had a few bouts. And if it doesn't get malignant, you have to do a lot of scraping away. So make sure you put on that sunscreen, especially in the ears and less obvious places. tips of the ears.
Yes. So.
Was it balls?
No, it was another scoring issue. So the challenge will be to get these runs before the rains come, and that, of course, could be addressed by simply sending in Neil Patel. But as we agreed, based on the mat, there's just isn't enough runs at 94 runs to get.
Yeah.
Isn't enough runs to score a century. Now, you're sure of that?
I'm pretty sure of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
There are some certainties in life. That's one of them, I think.
And this is the first attempted bunker we've seen all weekend.
Yeah.
And not successfully. Dropped out really short. But he came in with an urgency that was indicative of what his intent was. Now,
if this one's on target, he's facing a marine, you know. They're used to this sort of stuff.
Here he comes, right arm.
That's a good ball.
Yes, it is.
Set him up beautifully.
Fast bowling is a wonderful thing. It takes a heavy toll on the body, yes. But if I had the option of being a fast bowler, I definitely would have been. It's exciting, invigorating to come charging in and just unleash that ball.
Could ruin your singing career, though, Lloyd.
And there it is, played defensively into the offside by Husnain Bashir. And it's one of the reasons why over the years, from the very first time when we started streaming, my instruction to the camera people were always to focus on the fast bowler coming into the camera as opposed to shooting it from the back as you see in international cricket. Just such a waste. Here he comes. And played out into the cover area.
Hey, he played for the All-Stars too, right?
Yes, that's Bhaskar.
MATCH-2. Good. He had a good bowling session.
Yeah, he was lighting the ball very nicely. He took 2 wickets and 2 balls. It was on a hat trick at one point.
Yeah. So they've got some good bowling.
Yep.
Ooh, it doesn't get closer than that.
Yeah. The reason we're only seeing the pitch from one end is because one of the cameras was taken down because in anticipation of rain. So the camera from the far end was taken down.
Yeah. That seems a wise move. Oh, and again, almost just playing for that edge is the bowler.
You keep going. I have to see about the scoring. Keep going.
So this bowler doing an excellent job, Danya. Actually, we need to update the score a little bit, so can't bring you the name just yet until we get the Cricket Club's banner on the bottom there. And he tries to bump that one in, and this finally Husnain gets the bat on it for a run. Excellent over though. So I'd make it that we have about All-Stars 2 runs first over. As you heard earlier, we've just taken down a camera because of the potential for rain. And so we're using the camera on the fast sight screen. Great camera arrangement here at Moosa. They have 3 cameras that can give you all the views you need. Good focal length as well. Get a clear view of what's going on. The bowler's bowling from the same end to save time with the rain and so on. So in comes Moen. Hussain keeps his bat off the. They're really playing for that outside edge at the moment. He cuts that beautifully. And there'll be a couple of runs there, if not a 4. It's 4 runs. So Hussain on to 6. And Rudikash still to get off the mark. Harsh at the bowler. Wearing Mohan's shirt. It's one of the things you have to be aware of with American college cricket. What you see is not really what's going on. So Lloyd has cured the scoring problem, and now...
Yeah, just in time to see a glorious shot, a glorious cut by Hussain Bashir. And Harshit is the bowler, comes running in, has had that 4 struck off of him. And Hussain, satisfied with that glorious cut, plays a defensive shot calmly and collectively. So,
nothing like being calm and collected.
Yes, of course, those are apt descriptions of me.
But of course.
Here comes the left arm. Harshit. Oh, that one straightened up back, nipped back into the batsman.
Good job. Hussain had his wood in the right place.
So Harshit showing us his skills, even as Bashir showed us his. Bashir showed us his. This one's wide outside the off stump. There'll be a signal for wide by the umpire. And this is the second over, 6 American college cricket. Maybe perhaps the S stands for superstars. The American College Cricket All-Stars. And here comes Harshit, left arm, outside the off stump. Hussain chooses not to go after that. And of course, with the required runs, he can afford to do that. It's 7 after 2 overs.
I've been looking at Harshit's delivery stride, and his left back foot makes some real movement, which as he gets older might cause some issues with his ankle. Let's have a look at this. Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even now it looks...
Yeah.
And that's a nice throw in there. Wrecks the stumps.
Yeah.
But the batsman was safe. But, yeah, you're absolutely correct. And, I mean, it was fascinating that you saw that.
These are things you need to pick up if you're going to last long in this game.
But, I mean, I'm worried even after one ball.
It looks like it crack it wide open with the way he delivers.
So, Coach, good eyesight.
Thank you. Yeah, we have to watch for these things. A lot of torque on that ankle.
It was almost like he's twisting his ankle.
Yeah.
So Bashir gets back on strike with that single.
Rudy's back's hurting him after all that wicket keeping.
A streaker darting across the screen.
Yeah.
Or one of the players. Since this is not the 70s, I think it's more likely one of the players.
Mm-hmm.
Streaking was back in the 70s.
That was fun too. That was Test cricket for you. Just
suddenly,
right?
Yeah, suddenly a naked person running across the field.
Yeah.
And not in whites at all.
That's for sure.
It's funny the things people get up to.
There's only white streakers out there, though. I don't see other nationalities doing that.
I think I'll
It's
leave.
white privilege, right?
I think I'll leave that one alone. There we go. Another
He's
one.
got his clothes on. You're all right. You can relax, Lloyd.
Yeah. Flashbacks to the 70s. I was
Still got his PTSD going.
Here comes. This is
Lovely flick, but
Vamsi
nothing going.
Prakash.
Good piece of aggressive bowling here by the opening bowler.
I like how he's charging back to his run up though. But I think the umpire's just cautioning him about running onto the area of the pitch which bowlers are supposed to avoid. My main way of avoiding it was trying to get the bat. I want a bat. I want to open the bat in. I want a bat number 3. So he's going to come over the wicket in order to avoid that issue.
You can't rough up this wicket.
A nice ball though. That one came back in. Bashir, who played it really well, out into the cover area. Gets a single. And moves up to 7.
I think Bashir's platoon can be proud of him today. He's batted well. He's improving each time he comes out. He's in some aggressive bowling too.
Rudy on strike. Here comes.
Oh, that's a lovely
whoa.
shot.
Just lay back and gloriously drives that into the covers.
And the covers are actually there, Lloyd, right on the edge. Ready to roll.
Rudy gets off the mark with a glorious shot. Just got 1 run for it because it went to a fielder. But laying back and playing that off the back foot was reminiscent of, since we invoked Ron Kanai earlier, it's definitely a Ron Kanai type shot. Of course, growing up, one of my cricket heroes, or heroes of any kind, was Rohan Kanai. He's an old man now living in England, but I would love to meet him. And this one pops off. Got it away for them to get a single. Yeah, some aggressive bowling here, aggressive enough that he had to be warned about running onto the verboten part of the pitch. And just thought I'd put some German into the commentary there, David. Mm-hmm.
Sprachen Sie Deutsch, like?
Exactly. Here comes Vamsi. He does bring the ball back into the batsman from outside the off stump.
Yep.
Pitched on a pretty good length. And that's one of the reasons why Rudy went off the back foot and played that cracking drive, because if that was marginally not in the right spot, it opens up itself to that possibility. Or, of course, if you move quickly and you want to go for that shot, you can.
Here comes our left foot bowler again. So Vamsi's done his 2 overs now. Can you imagine bowling about 10 years doing that to your ankle?
I'm finding it hard to imagine bowling 1 over. But of course, he's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
But it looks really bad.
Should focus on the balls a bit more, but
no, that's keen insight, because that's part of the game as well.
Yeah. Well, you want guys to play along
Well, you just don't want them to hurt themselves early in their career either.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how. I mean, I've been in fitness for decades, and
It's putting a lot of pressure on the inside knee as well.
not that it needs a significant fitness background to identify that.
Yeah.
Nice shot there. Nice feeling. The man moves around and gets it. He hits the wicket, but Rudy was in. Nice shot. Nice movement by the fielder. Throw hit the stumps. Good action.
$14 after 3.3 overs. Run rate 4.
So the sky's entirely grey now. Some parts darker than others, and indicative of the change in the weather. So fortunately, as of right now, no rain. So we hope that continues until the end of this game. Oh, he had to dig in. That one kept a bit low. Of course, there's been cricket here for 2 days. So not sure what the signal is from the umpire, the wicket keeper. I guess he wants a new bat. Not the wicket keeper, but the batsman.
Yeah.
And the wicket keeper is being helpful. Would have been strange if the wicket keeper was calling for a new bat.
Yeah.
So Bashir taking strike.
Hard shit bowling.
Left arm. This one is on a different line and causes Bashir to play watchfully. He's bowling on a pretty good line and length.
Yeah. And using his toes on the front foot to move him forward.
Left arm. Arshit comes running in from University of Texas Arlington. Pitches that one up a little bit more. And that's struck by Bashir out to the mid-wicket area. Fielded by the fielder as it went straight to him. He had no choice. So just a single. And he'll take the opportunity now to change the bat.
Get the MRF out. Mumbai Rubber Works. Rubber factory. We had a gentleman, a Babu actually, from Houston on our over 60s team, and he paid one of the Pakistani players $900 for his MRF bat.
Why? What
Last
was
week
this?
in Los Angeles. Well, he just scored a century with it. So he figured there was a certain amount of virtue in that bat. But $900 a bat is a lot for a lot of money
A used bat.
for a used bat. But one with a century in it.
You might be surprised to find that it was the batsman, not the bat.
Exactly. Like a golfer on his clubs. Good piece of running.
Good pick up and throw there by the fielder. $16 without loss. Rudy on 2, Husnain on 11, and it's in the 5th over right now. Required run rate is 5.64 from this point. He's 78 to get in 13.5 overs. And that slipped out of his hands.
Giving him LBW?
Seems valid. I mean, if he didn't hit it,
They're delighted to have that breakthrough. Has one wicket there with first strike of blood there for the Arlington team.
and because it wasn't a good ball, getting the wicket was a surprise.
Yeah.
But of course, the best of surprises for the bowling team. And full toss, right on the pads.
So,
But
you
it's
know.
it's interesting when you're videoing these things, especially if you have the camera straight down the line.
yeah.
It can further confirm the rightness of a decision. But with LBW, it's rare. Almost never do you see a batsman that's pleased.
Yeah, that is true. On our over 6 team, we had a batsman judged out LBW 4 times, and each time he sent a picture of the LBW to about 5 people around the country just to get their judgment. I just thought, well, we've come a long way. It's the 90s.
Whether you're third umpire,
Yeah,
you have 5 third umpires all over the country.
recruiting his friend around the country to try and keep him in.
That's hilarious.
He was very upset. The player was from Houston, but I won't say any more.
That's hilarious. So the new batsman is Kinal Patel, who's shown us flashes of his brilliance. Really good on the flick off the pads.
You've seen a lot of cricket this weekend.
It's Vamsi Prakash. Nicely struck down the wicket. And the man at mid-off is fine.
Just made it. He slid his bat for.
So he came around and was able to stop that and almost effected a run out. So some quick action there. But ultimately they were safe. So 17 for 1. Usman Bashir back on strike on 11. Ball coming in back and he plays it out nicely into the covers. A little confusion with
3 fielders running into each other, and the ball goes through the middle of them.
it looks like they were having a gathering out there.
Broke that gathering up.
Which one of you guys are going to stop this?
Who's going to stick their foot out for this one?
Looks like there's a drizzle coming.
Yeah. Looks though Arlington may get a break. Well, that's a useful boundary. That's 22 now. It's definitely cooled down quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, stay air conditioning.
Yeah.
David, that's how they work.
Oh, that's what that whirring sound is. I wonder what that whirring sound was.
It definitely cooled down
I thought
a
it was
bit.
butterflies flying by, but it's not. It's air conditioning.
No, what a cracking shot there. And what a catch.
What a catch. What a cracking catch, actually.
Wow.
Swear. Where does Bashir went? Probably his raincoat.
That's Bhaskar.
So he came in Bashir and he's ringing out Bhaskar. Huh? Oh boy, we're getting some breakthroughs here. 22 for 2. Run rate 4.4, 5 overs gone. And a run rate of 5.5 needed.
Patch of sky there is kind of interesting because it's not.
Yeah. I think the weather's coming from over here though.
But what I mean is, it's not like that there.
Yeah.
This looks more like a painting here.
It does look like a painting, doesn't it?
So 22 for 2. New batsman will be Adi. Hasnan Bashir on 12. We would have thought that we would have seen Neil Patel to try to knock off these runs very quickly.
Are we going to do Duckworth Lewis on this game? If it
I don't know. I don't really want to have to make that decision. But then I usually have no choice in
Yeah.
these matters. Everybody comes to me for the answer, so what am I saying?
Do you have the Duckworth-Lewis app on your
I might try to duck out of here.
computer?
You call me Duckworth Lloyd.
Duckworth-Lloyd. You get him off for the insurance then, huh?
Everybody looking for me, and I ducked out of here. You can explain then. Hey, it's Duckworth Lloyd. Nice looking shot there. Well, I'm not sure what this offside field. It's so packed.
Yep. They've been still.
Well, there's
getting
only
some catches.
there's basically just 3 people on the onside, and you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Hasnain is one of those players who plays straight. Otherwise, you'd be swinging. You'd be seeing swings
US and LBW asking. It's close.
going for getting the pull shot into the onside.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. Of course, they're bowling to their field, but the pull shot has become ubiquitous because of this.
Paddy didn't know where that one was. Hit the bottom of his bat. Was it you that told me the story about Don Bradman and Donald Duck?
Yeah.
What's the story?
The story is that Donald Duck was named after Donald
Don
Bradman.
Bradman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people find it hard to believe, but it's true.
Yeah.
There are a couple of reasons why people find it hard to believe, even cricket people, because they just don't have that. They just don't have that, feel them well about cricket. It's
Yeah.
like they have an inferiority complex. So
Right.
how could American cultural figure possibly be named after a cricket player?
Yeah.
Well, it did happen. And one of the reasons it happened is because around the time when Walt Disney came up with Donald Duck, remember, Don Bradman toured the U.S. in
Exactly.
1932.
But he was at UCLA in 1932 and
Yeah.
went to the Hollywood studios
Right. And people,
with Aubrey Smith.
most people are not even aware Don Bradman was
Yeah.
touring the U.S. in 1932.
Right.
He made a duck on his
So he called
honeymoon.
Donald Duck?
And so Walt Disney called it Donald Duck because,
Yeah.
of course, it was referenced in the media that Don Bradman scored a duck.
And Disney loved England. So he must have seen a few games of cricket in his time. That's all from the Silver Lake area where I live now.
Yes,
All of that stuff
because
comes out of
you
it.
remember
Yeah.
that the
Remember
studio
the
used to be
pavilion I
right
showed
there,
you, right next
where
door?
where the Jella, I think it is,
Yeah.
supermarket is now.
And here comes the covers. So I think we're done. You better get your Duckworth-Lewis out there.
Well, Percy Sledge had a song named "Cover Me," so this
did
is
he?
what we should be playing now. Yeah, cover me, cover me, spread your precious. So it's very apt at this point. That's the soundtrack.
Show your other skill here.
What's my other skill?
Singing.
Oh,
And leaving on a jet plane might be.
now 24 for 2 after 6 overs to make 94 to win. We can actually get that from Crick Clubs. Well, let's wait and see what happens.
I don't think this is Caribbean type weather where it'll blow over. I think it'll be here for the duration.
So the covers are on. And we'll take a little break here as we watch what the weather does before we make any decisions as to when we can continue. So stay with us or go and come back, take a break, whatever. We'll be getting back to you, getting back on the commentary, at least to inform you of what we're going to be doing as we watch the weather